Running an environmentally sustainable business in one of the most fragile places on Earth is difficult for any travel company. And the challenges are even greater when you're a transport operator dependent on fossil fuel. Yet one airline has seen off competition from more obvious eco-businesses to win the 2009 Tourism for Tomorrow Conservation Award. That company is NatureAir, a domestic airline flying Twin Otters to isolated corners of Costa Rica and its Central American neighbours. It is widely acknowledged to be the first and only carbon-neutral airline in the world.
NatureAir is a carbon-neutral airline because of a program which basically what we do is we measure 100% of the fuel that we consume on an annual basis. We then, based on an equation that is accepted by the Kyoto Protocol, we can easily find out how much tons of carbon dioxide we emitted by consuming that fuel. And through FONAFIFA, which is a forestry financing part of our environmental protection agency here in Costa Rica, we work with privately held land with those owners in order to conserve their property so that they don't have to cut down the trees. And those trees roughly are holding the same amount of carbon dioxide that we're emitting. So basically what we're doing is fixing the amount of carbon that we emit by ensuring that forests that contain that same amount of carbon are not cut down.
The conservation project is based in the south of Costa Rica, along the Oso Peninsula. It's one of the most biologically intense places on Earth, yet has been under threat for the past 50 years from logging and clearing for agriculture. Here, NatureAir pays farmers an annual fee not to cut down their trees, a move that is protecting as much as 3,000 hectares of pristine lowland forest.
NatureAir is protecting the buffer zone of the Corcovado National Park, which is in Oso Peninsula, and is termed by the National Geographic as the hottest biodiversity zone in the world. All around us, looking over the ridge, is where the national park starts. We are actually standing in a private land. And these private lands are being protected by basically monies being paid on a monthly basis to the farmers, not to be cut and not to be hunted. And these are primary forests that in no other way would have been protected.
The project is creating corridors that link wildlife reserves and other protected areas to the Corcovado National Park, the largest lowland tropical rainforest in Central America, and one of the tallest rainforests in the world. The national park is home to several different species of monkey. The noisy howlers, the tiny endangered squirrel monkeys, and the spider monkeys who swing in the high canopy. It's one of the last strongholds of the Baird's tapir, home to animals such as the coatis that come down to the coast to feed on shellfish, and more than 350 species of birds. NatureAir's conservation work extends outside the forest to support communities in some of the most isolated parts of Costa Rica. Through its charity NatureKids, the airline runs free English language schools for village children. Some 500 kids have gone through these schools since 2003.
NatureKids is a non-profit foundation here in Costa Rica and dedicated to teaching low-income communities viable and affordable English education, computer, and environmental education.
Me gusta NatureKids porque es divertido.
I like NatureKids because it's fun and I learn to speak English. We have tourism in our region and we need to speak English to cater for these tourists.
Y es mejor aquí porque aquí hay turismo.
Para mí NatureKids es un lugar muy importante.
NatureKids is very important because it's the only place that teaches us to speak English, and it helps students with their other studies. I've been coming here since the first day, and thanks to them, I'm achieving some of the top marks in school.
porque es muy importante.
It's very important for the small kids because we learn to use computers and there are a lot of kids around here who don't know how to use them.
Es muy importante porque es casi lo único inglés.
We can all learn English around here, even the adults.
Hasta los adultos.
The airline is also working with other travel companies in Costa Rica, encouraging entrepreneurs to set up businesses that protect rather than encroach upon the rainforest. One such company in the volcanic Arenal region is Sunset Tours.
20 years ago, when I started the company, we didn't know that the nature that we have and the wildlife was so precious. So we learned how to make a living without damaging the environment and protecting all our nature and wildlife.
Partnership is essential, and there's always more work to be done.
3,000 hectares in this area has been protected. Nature Air cannot do all of this alone. There are 7,000 more hectares of land in the biodiversity zone that needs to be protected. We need other companies and other institutions to come and protect this for the future generation.
Nature Air is ploughing profits directly back into conservation and looking after the interests of its local community. The impact of such private investment and dedication goes far beyond the borders of Costa Rica.